All right, hi everyone, it's Harrison here, and today we're going to be talking about trans people in sports. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Harrison Browne, and I'm a professional ice hockey player in the National Women's Hockey League. And I am the first transgender athlete in professional team sports. So I identify as female to male transgender, and I go by he, him pronouns. Now, I haven't physically transitioned or medically transitioned. I've only socially transitioned, so that's why I can still play in a women's league. So all I've done is have a masculine appearance, and I've changed my name, and I've also changed my use of pronouns. So that's my story. For trans men that are not socially transitioned, or trans men actually physically transitioned and playing in the men's side, it's not as much of a taboo. People aren't as threatened by trans men because they don't feel that women or anybody that has a female body will excel in sports. And I feel like that's totally inaccurate, but that's kind of the common theme, is that people don't really feel threatened by trans men. But people do have the tendency to feel threatened by trans women, and I feel that this is totally unfair. I think that people need to be more educated. People need to do their research before they start making all these assumptions. And I think that this is the point of the video, to kind of just challenge you to do your own research. I'm not an expert, even though I'm trans. I'm not an expert myself on trans women. I'm not an expert myself on all the rules for participation, but I do know a little bit, and I just kind of want to share what I know and challenge you to also figure out some stuff on your own. So, trans women playing in women's leagues. There are people out there, so the person that just came out, her name is Jessica Platt. So I kind of want to talk about trans women in sports because it's been done. Jessica is not the first trans woman in sports, and I'm not the first trans man in sports. So Jessica, she identifies as male to female, so born male, transitioning to female, and she has undergone hormone therapy. I'm not exactly sure all the terms for that, but she has the same testosterone levels as cis-born female, so the same general threshold. She fits the criteria, so there's no advantage for her playing. So yeah, so that's totally fair, and she definitely has a place to play in the league, and I'm glad that the league has welcomed her with open arms. So just one of the main arguments for trans women and why they shouldn't be able to play in any sport is size. And everyone just says men are bigger than women, and someone that's born a man will obviously grow to be bigger than a woman. This is not the case at all, and you can't generalize people based on their gender. There's 5'0" men out there, and there's 6' tall women out there. You can't bar people based on size, and I don't know why that's an argument for trans men or for trans people in sport, because you would not say Zdeno Chara could not play in the NHL because he's too tall. You wouldn't bar somebody for their height in sport. Why do you think you can bar somebody that's transgender from sport just because of their size? And I'm not saying that every trans woman is going to be 6 foot tall. They're not. Not every trans man is going to be 5'4" like me. It's just not going to happen. But you can't generalize people, and you can't put barriers on people based on their size, because you would never have done that if they were cisgender. If they were cisgender. So I think that you need to wipe that right out of your mind if that's what you're thinking. Oh, that person's probably tall, so they can't play. You would never say that. Everybody has certain advantages. Like there are athletes that are better than other athletes, and it has nothing to do with anything other than their natural given talent, or their natural given size, or their natural given skill. And I think people need to take a step back when thinking about trans athletes, is that some trans athletes are going to be great, some trans athletes are not going to be great, but it's a variation of people. And just because somebody's transgender doesn't mean that all their variations need to be under a microscope, that you need to scrutinize everything that they're doing, and if they're good, you need to scrutinize it. No, it's not true. And I know the people that are watching this video probably are of a sane mind and are able to not cognitively think about something. But I hope maybe if one person that doesn't necessarily have an open mind will watch this video and think, oh, he has a point, then I'm doing my job here. So the whole point of my channel is to create awareness for trans struggles, and I've talked about my own struggles as a trans man playing in women's sports, or as a trans man that's pre-transition trying to navigate society, but trans women I haven't really talked about because obviously I'm not a trans woman. And I would love to hear the experiences of a trans woman. I don't know many, but I have a lot of respect for Jessica. I have a lot of respect for any trans woman athlete out there that's participating in their sport. You have a place just like anybody else in sports, just like I have a place like anybody else does in sports. And I think that people need to take a step back and really think about your argument and think about why you are uncomfortable with this, or think about why you are like, oh, well, how is this possible? Just think about it. Do your research and don't be ignorant. I hope that Jessica has a great season. I hope that any trans athlete out there has a great season, and you can take positives out of any story, because somebody coming out is something to celebrate, because it puts another face to a term, it puts another story to a person, and it's so great to spread awareness, it's so great to spread knowledge and to just share your story and learn from each other. I can't wait to read all the articles on Jessica. I can't wait to research more on trans individuals and see what I can find out, because I always want to be educated, and you should too. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to put my 2 cents in there, start a dialogue, and I hope that the sporting world keeps gaining acceptance and keeps growing and keeps showcasing diverse individuals, because anybody coming out is something to be celebrated. And I'm very proud of anybody that's come out, whether it's Jessica or whether it's you watching this and you think, okay, you know what, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play my sport and be myself. That's amazing. That's one of the reasons why I made this channel. That's one of the reasons why I stay so public, is to create awareness and to show people that you can do whatever you want to do, and you can be an athlete if you want to be. And stories like Jessica, stories like Chris Moser, stories like Skylar Baylor, and any other trans athlete out there, we are creating safer spaces for other trans athletes. And I hope that in the future, it makes the path easier for any young kid. So that's my goal, and I think that's the goal of any publicly out transgender athlete, is to make the path easier for somebody and to do something that you wish somebody would have done for you. So kudos to every trans person out there. Kudos to every trans athlete out there that's participating in their sport. You are making the world a better place, and I'm with you. I stand for you. Let's get out there and let's be educated, and let's stand up for each other. Well, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and take care.